About a month or a month and a half ago, we started the citizen science project in Miss Oxman's third grade class. Today, I am here to go over that in presentation form. What citizen science project did you choose to work on through Zooniverse? For my citizen science project, I chose to work on the project titled The American Soldier. Why did I choose the project? I chose the project because I have a large amount of respect for U.S. soldiers. Several of my peers, or I guess teachers, First Sergeant and Colonel Baker, I have a lot of respect for them. Plenty of people in my family, my uncle, my grandpa, and I also have a few others aspiring to go in. I also have an interest in the United States military and martial law, and both of those were included in my research. What research questions are the project scientists trying to answer? Researchers are trying to decode several millions, and I mean literally millions, of letters sent home from soldiers during World War II. Two examples of the letters sent home to families during the war are listed on the right of the screen here. These letters are plenty more legible than what I was given. My letters generally didn't. They used a type of ink that was so bold you couldn't really read anything off of it. So these letters are actually a lot more understandable than what I was looking at. I had to decode Army suggestion forms, which are also extremely hard to decipher. It's just bulleted lists of multiple choice answers, but the confusion started with how many questions there were. Some of those forms could have up to 60 questions, so it could get pretty confusing. What are citizen scientists doing to help answer the question? The process involved me clicking on a link that would take me to a letter that had not been decoded or deciphered yet, as I just explained. Once the letter had loaded, I had to select the type of letter they were sending home. There was plenty of area for me to pick. There was 3 different choices. This ranged from business letters, which was maybe an entrepreneur or son of an entrepreneur who was inquiring about his investments back home. Some of the letters were for family members. Actually, most of them were, I'd say 80% were for family members. And some of the letters were direct talk between husband and wife, and that took up about 10%. And some of those letters could get pretty depressing. Once the letters were classified, I had to start to decode the entire writing section, which could range from 1 paragraph up to 2 pages. Many of the stories I found in those letters were quite sad as well. And what I mean by that, they had their multiple choice question area, and then once they got done with multiple choice, they could move on to the second page, and there was just up to 2 pages of free writing that they could talk about anything from dental care to food to their hygiene, and send that up to Army officers so they could deal with that and know the morale of their soldiers. What did I complete? During my 3 hours of research, I was able to decode or decipher 20 letters. To give you some examples of what I read through, I pulled a quote from one of the letters. Allow me to give you some backstory so the quote will make more sense. 2 divisions were assigned to go up to the Andes Mountains and take over this camp that was at the top or whatever. And they had to divide into 2 units, 1 unit to go up the left side and 1 unit to go up the right side. The right side was very clear, good weather, no fighting. It was basically just a straight shot. On the other side, temperatures were extremely cold. There was plenty of fighting, and those who got sent to the left side of the mountain, I believe he said, were 3 times more likely not to make it home. So this quote comes directly from one of the letters I found. The men who lose their sleeping bags in the weather close to the mountain have also lost their lives. And what he means is at nighttime when it got especially cold, those men who couldn't find their sleeping bags or had left them behind would die. They would die of temperature. Sometimes it would only take 30 minutes to an hour. There was also stories of these men being forced by commanders to sleep sandwiched by two other sleeping bag men to try and help maintain their body heat. Some of those guys made it through, but that wasn't always an option, so some people did die. Based on the research you completed, what do you think the results of the study will be? Well, hopefully one day all of the letters will be decoded. Unfortunately, only 3 other people were actively working on the project during the time it was, so the decoding process is probably going to take a while. However, the insight we gained from doing these documents grants us more knowledge of history about the wars the United States has fought. That's all I have for my citizen science project. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.